Tim Tszyu takes on Super Welterweight IBF champion Bakhram Murtazaliev on the 19th of October. This weekend, 2024. Let's talk about this situation. Tim Tszyu coming off of a split decision loss against Sebastian Fundora. Tim Tszyu started off very well in that fight, but he got elbowed in his head. I think it was the second round, and opened up some big gash on his head where he started bleed profusely all over the place, all in his eyes. He couldn't really see what he was doing, and even though he battled through right to the end of the fight, all 12 rounds, he lost in a split decision. Sebastian Fundora takes his WBO title, and Tim Tszyu feels very aggrieved about the situation, and he's already back way before Sebastian Fundora. Even though he had the gash, he's like, 7 months is too long. I can't be not fighting for 7 months, and I'm still a champion, so I need to fight a champion and take his championship because it's mine. Who's that? Bakhram went and beat Jack over there and won the IBF vacant thing. All right, cool. I want that. He's now a champion then, so I'm just going to beat him because he's not really a champion. I'm the champion. Bakhram's like, what? What are you saying? I done all that work and went and won that title, and you try to say I'm not a champion, try to discredit my thing. Come book that. Book that fight, let's have that. So they've booked the fight and it's happening. Tim Tszyu, pressure fighter, come forward. Pure pressure. Good shot selection though. He's not really a brawler, even though he does seem to crowd his work. He falls into the shots a lot of the time. That's how he got his head bust, because he's just got this pressure on him where he just wants to come forward, and ended up getting his head bust by an elbow. Now, I blame Tim for that. I blame Tim straight blatantly, because he just comes forward like a madman, but he's probably learnt from that. And where he's got such a long reach, even though Bakhram Murtazaliev is 6 foot tall, the thing about it is Tim Tszyu knows how to get inside. So hopefully this head injury has healed up enough. I mean, the doctors have passed him fit to fight, so he's having the fight, and let's see how it goes for him. Bakhram Murtazaliev, on the other hand, a Russian fighter based in America, fighting in title eliminator after title eliminator through the years of 2018, 19, 2021, and also 2022. Title eliminators on the undercards of champions, and he was making a name for himself on that PBC side of the situation, knocking out guys 22-0, 15 knockouts. Yeah, he was doing his job. All of a sudden, he became IBF mandatory, and at that same time, Jermell Charlo was trying to get undisputed. So every time his opportunity was there, he accepted step-aside money, he accepted step-aside situations so that Jermell Charlo could go and do his undisputed. Subsequently, once he was undisputed, he then went up 2 weight classes to go and fight Canelo, which then made Murtazaliev have to sit back even more. And in between that time, between 2022 to now, he weren't even having any filler fights. But then the IBF becomes vacant, and he won the vacant title earlier this year against Jack Colquet. It was a good fight. I saw some moments in there where Jack Colquet was very, very confident that he would have got the win, especially in the 7th round. Well, from the 7th round onwards, that fight picked up. It was a good, entertaining fight. 7th round onwards, it picked up. Jack Colquet went in, tried to do a finishing job on Bakhram Murtazaliev. Bakhram is defending himself to a good extent, but he's losing rounds 7, 8, 9 and such like. But 10 and 11 turned for Bakhram when he got some shots in, and they finally stopped Jack Colquet in the 11th round knockout. So now he's now the IBF champion, because that was for the vacant IBF belt. Fast forward to now, he's booked this fight to defend against Tim Tszyu. How do I think this fight will go? Bakhram Murtazaliev, he doesn't have much pace. He doesn't have much head movement. He was getting caught with so much shots from Jack Colquet. My days, I don't understand how Jack didn't get him out of there. It's probably because he didn't have the power, because these Russian guys seem to be very, very, very tough. And Bakhram is no exception to that. He's tough cookie, taking shots left, right and center. Could he take the same shots if it was Tim Tszyu throwing them? We will see. I don't think so. And plus, Tim Tszyu's got a bit of a longer reach than Jack Culcay, and I do believe that Tim Tszyu is a better fighter than Jack Culcay. They have different styles. Jack Culcay is more of a boxer puncher, where he will try and catch you on the counter and such like, where Tim Tszyu is just a pressure fighter. Come forward, go forward, straight, shots, plenty of shots constantly, continuously. But he knows how to set them up and he knows how to work his way inside. Double jabs, head movement. Jack Culcay didn't have much head movement, nor did Bakhram have much head movement. They were both just hitting each other, boom, 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 both just saying, who's the toughest? Jack Culcay had a bit of head movement, but it's like he couldn't move his head and punch at the same time. It was either head movement or punches. And when Bakhram was punching with him, he was catching him all day long. But also, Bakhram weren't moving his head, so he was just getting caught all day long as well. That's why I think Tim Tszyu will actually knock him out. I actually think Tim Tszyu will stop him, and if he doesn't stop him, I think he will beat him to a points decision victory. So my prediction is Tim Tszyu to win. I'm going to say knockout. I'm going to say stoppage. I'm going to say 9th, 10th round stoppage. Bakhram Murtazaliev might be one of these fighters that fight to the level of their opponent. As well as that, I just think that the time that he's had away, the time out that he's had, has been at his disadvantage. Even though he's probably made a pretty penny in step-aside money, I believe it's been to his boxing detriment, because in the time that Bakhram Murtazaliev has had one fight, Tim Tszyu has had 5 fights. So he's been active. Even though he's coming off of a loss, he didn't personally, for me, in my perspective, he didn't get beaten down to the point where his confidence is gone and he has to rebuild. His confidence is still very high. He's a throwback type of fighter. He wants to fight all the time. He wants to fight the best all the time. And he gets these fights and he beats these guys down to prove that he is the best. And it was going that way in the first 2 rounds with Sebastian Fundora, even though Sebastian Fundora is about 6'5", 6'6" with some crazy reach. I think he's like 6'5" and 6'5" reach. Like he got the crazy reach, but Tim Tszyu was getting in with his shots and he was landing heavy shots. It was making it very uncomfortable for Fundora in there. It was going one way for me, in my opinion, until the elbow to the head. So with that being said, I just believe that Tim Tszyu will wear down Bakhram Murtazaliev. As much as Bakhram Murtazaliev can take shots, he seems to slap a bit with his shots. So his shots don't always carry heavy power. And he didn't knock out Jack Culcay with just power. It was more wearing him down. And he took a lot of shots while he was wearing him down. So I'm going to go with Tim Tszyu to win by stoppage late. Mid to late. I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say round 9. I'm going there. But I'm definitely going for a Tim Tszyu victory. We'll see how this goes. I will talk about it on the other side. And I'll see you in the next video.